Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 85 of A Fern Between Us.
We are two of the four owners of Vivac Winery. That's Michelle.
That one's Jesse. I don't really look like Michelle because I'm wearing a hat, and it's because some days, it's hard to put on pants and get ready. So
Put your pants on.
the hair was just like, it was asking too much. So, represent. See you, Boulder.
Nice. Yeah, it's rare. I don't know how often you've worn a hat during the show.
I
But
never.
never once?
Never once.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
She does it sometimes. Every once in a while she wears a hat.
Right?
It's not totally uncommon. You have your own hats.
I do have my own hats. Yeah, I like to wear them.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Do you remember when Luke and Lindsay, they had, I guess it was Annalie that they had just had, and I showed up, with a dish and some wine. Nice thing to do for new parents, right? I mean, it was their second kid, but it's still.
Uh-huh.
And I had a hat and sunglasses on, and he was like, what is going on? Why are you all incognito?
Right. And then when you just first have a baby, you're in such a weird world that nothing quite makes sense when you walk out into it or it comes into you or whatever.
Right.
That's funny. I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, so I do kind of get that when I do wear hats, but that's funny. So here we are. You got some grapes today?
Got some grapes today. We've had a handful of crushes so far. Things are going okay. A little rocky here and there, but the grapes look good. So the wines are looking good so far.
And that's what's important.
I can't complain. We got a big picky party day after tomorrow on Saturday. It's going to be fun. Hopefully the weather holds out, but hopefully some clouds. It's pretty hot out there if not. So we're going to have to have lots of water, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe even have one of those be a Gatorade or something.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Electrolytes.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Dang.
it's kind of like day
All
after
smart.
tomorrow. That's a lot. Yeah. But I guess you do keep Gatorade.
Yeah, I've got some, so
powdered. These picking parties are super fun, but they're also so much work. And the behind the scenes, the whole idea is that you guys don't know how much work they are, but man.
I know. It takes all four of us, multiple, parts of multiple days to get it all together.
Making sure we have servers and everything's prepared and working with the chef and
probably takes you the most amount of time and then Chris and I and
for sure.
But it definitely takes Lily too. I don't know, it's all of us.
Yeah. I feel like the setting up all the tables and making sure it looks beautiful and getting everybody squared away and helping the chef and all of those things day of it looks like it just appeared, which is the way it's supposed to be.
What it's supposed to look
but
like.
I'm so tired by the end.
We've got two of those, and next time you'll be leaving the next day. So
yes, because I've got to fly up to Italy. So sorry.
Bastard. Yeah, we don't feel sorry for you.
I know. Extreme Wines competition. I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am to be going to this and taking some of our wines.
And first time in Italy, right?
Yes.
First time to judge in Italy. First time our wines will be tasted in Italy, probably.
Yes. Very excited.
Yeah.
And so the extreme meaning high altitudes, extreme slopes, islands, all those things that would make making a wine really, really difficult.
Mm-hmm. We qualify in spades. So.
Yeah. So I'm bringing a bunch of wines and
cool.
entering them into the competition. So good
Cheers.
luck.
Hey, thanks.
Right?
We'll see how it goes.
Right?
It's more about the experience for you than it is about the medal for us if we get one.
It is, but that'd be cool. It would be cool.
Yeah.
But also introducing people to one of my favorite things is being a brand ambassador, where I'm now talking about we're at 6,000 feet and this is what we're doing, and people get to taste the wines and really explore a new area, because most people, especially in Europe, don't know that New Mexico is a great spot to grow grapes.
We don't even know that here in New Mexico. So,
Like,
if you want to like poll the public or something. So, yeah, what are we drinking here today?
Yeah, let's move on to the tasting. We are doing Wine Club wines. Last episode, we did talk about doing vodka versus gin as a throwdown.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to do it, but we do need to just keep the first week of the show being Wine Club wines. So next week, we're going to do the throwdown, and vodkas are totally going to kick gin's ass.
Nope.
So for Wine Club, what we sent out was the Montepulciano and the Malbec, two of my personal favorites that you make.
Malbec and Montepulciano. Montepulciano for me especially. I do
why?
like. I don't know. To me, it's they're both pretty complex and stuff like that. But I like the slightly more austere fruit of the Montepulciano. But to me, it's one of our more well-balanced wines, and yada yada yada. The Malbec to me is a little fuller fruit, which just sort of isn't my style a little bit. But it's also not a full fruit, like not like an Argentine Malbec or something like that.
Yeah,
so
it's still very
I feel like it's
earthy
really
and-
good, but I don't know, for whatever reason, it's not like the Montepulciano for me. But if we had two other wines, maybe I'd say the Malbec.
Well, and the Montepulciano one was awarded a gold medal at the Berliner Wine Trophy this summer, which is a huge kudos. So OIV is a governing body that has very strict rules around how we judges judge and who gets an award or not. So it's just the top 30% of the category. So if this wine scored as a gold but didn't score in the top 30%, meaning the very highest ratings,
Right.
it doesn't get awarded a medal.
Which this one was.
Yes. So that's huge, which, we're talking about a prestigious competition where you've got Montepulcianos from Italy, a lot of them being entered.
Right.
And, all these wines from all over the world, but it's really, really exciting when you win a gold and you get a medal. Oh, it's pretty amazing. Congrats.
Yeah.
Super cool. Super cool.
So which one do you have in your glass?
I have Montepulciano.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We both started with Malbec and then
No, we started with the Montepulciano and
went
then,
to the Malbec and then came back.
Yeah, exactly. So, so those are some amazing things to know about the Montepulciano. Another thing, a lot of people, are trying to figure out what are good fall wines. This is definitely a good one. It's got so much earthiness and easy to pair with a lot of those kind of, we get into warmer dishes all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Cool nights. We want
Yeah.
soups or grilled meats.
Yeah.
And grilled steak is fantastic with this.
Right.
All right. Well,
Last week was nice and cool. This week's kind of hot, so maybe not Montepulciano this week. I don't know.
all right. Do you want to just pour that into here and then we can pour the Malbec into your glass?
Okay.
Or, okay. That's what you get when you're raised in Taos.
Hey.
You just slam it. It doesn't matter if it's, really nice, expensive wine or not. You just throw it back. Okay. So now the Malbec, which is actually one of my favorite wines that you produce as well. I love that that it's more of a Cahors French style rather than the super jammy full fruit of Argentina.
Who you calling horse?
You're definitely a horse. There's these cool herbal notes and I think it's really lovely, and I think the fruit is kind of pie fruit. which I dig on. And it is, I see what you mean, like in comparison.
Yeah.
It's
Between these two.
it's a fuller fruit, but it's still restrained. It's so elegant.
It is.
So pretty. It's one of the best Malbecs that I've had recently.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. So, happy drinking to all of our wine club members that have this either drinking it with us or have it at home or are saving it for a special occasion.
Or just drank it last week.
Yeah.
Potentially, which is fine.
We're trying, people. We're trying. All right. So let's jump into some questions, right?
Okay. What do you got? Anything risque?
No. That's funny. People have kind of backed off a little the more risque kind of things. Maybe they've been distracted. Now that summer seems to be a little more distracted kind of questions. But
Gotcha.
now once people are spending a little more time in their houses and, watching maybe a little more YouTube, then, we might get some things. All right. So can you make wine out of pumpkins? Have you ever had one?
I have not had one, but you can make wine out of anything, I'm sure.
Well, and so it's September 1st, and I thought that was so on point because there's all these memes and jokes about how, as of midnight on the 31st, everything
it's now
turns
fall
pumpkin
season.
spice.
Yeah.
So I love that.
All the way till Christmas.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
I have not. I imagine, for my taste, it'd probably be fairly disgusting, but I would love to, if somebody had one, I would love to taste one. I'd probably want it to be sweeter. I'd probably want it to be pumpkin pie and,
sure.
stupid pumpkin spice. I don't know. I think it would taste wrong if it wasn't. So if any of you guys know about it, let me know. I don't know.
I've never tasted one. I've tasted some really bizarre wines at some of these competitions.
I bet it could happen. We could do like a little gross little home batch.
That'd actually be kind of fun. Right. I definitely think you need it sweet because if it were dry, it would just be.
Can you imagine pumpkin flavor without any sweetness? That'd be really weird. Yeah. I like my pumpkin pie not as least sweet as possible. Like all my pumpkin stuff, I want it to be on the least sweet side. But man,
it's still,
it needs something though. Like you have to have some sweetness.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you'd also have to doctor it with maybe some cinnamon or nutmeg.
It's gonna have to have the spices.
Have to have spices in there, and that would be interesting.
At least hints of it. It's probably pretty gross, but I'd be willing to check it out. Not for sale. This should be a homemade gig. If people are making it for sale, I want to know about it so I could taste it, but I'll probably, vocally say it's ew.
Yeah, it's really interesting because you really can make wine out of anything.
Yeah.
And so there's some really strange, interesting things out there for sure. Not all of them are stellar, but
some of them are though.
Yeah.
We had I've said this on the show once or twice, but elderflower sparkling that was insane.
Oh, well, that was
good.
Amazing.
It was so good.
Yes.
Out of Canada, and then I know a lot of people have always traditionally done dandelion wine, and
for sure.
That doesn't have any, fruit or meat or, anything of substance. It's just adding water and all the components, but it flavors it a little bit. And
obviously,
so
kind of a green note with some
which is what,
florals, and it's a little bit like a Sauvignon Blanc from a weed.
Right, and that's what you would do basically with any fruit that didn't have enough of the necessary components to make something you'd recognize as wine. You just add a little more sugar, add a little more water, add a little more acid, whatever it was to before the fermentation started.
Yeah. So maybe we can coax them into making something, and then that would be really funny to taste on the show.
Ew. Oh, that's funny.
All right. So next question is, what is I'm sorry, I can't really see this. What's the hardest part of crush?
Getting old. Oh,
Nice.
It's the go and go. It's the constantly having to like there's no real days off. I guess that's probably the hardest part. Thinking about all the little details, and then it's also physically taxing. So then we're exhausted mentally and physically. As time goes on, it just gets more and more. And even if everything's going right, which it almost never is totally right, I don't know, somehow it just wears you out.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's like you're talking about the every day there's something to be done, and it feels taxing in a different way where you can't turn off your phone because you might be getting a message from the grower in the southern part of the state, or there's something happening.
There's something breaking. You're always expecting packages, ordering things, stuff you haven't thought about. I don't know, and it's just hard to like keep it all together, and I don't know. And then the tireder everyone is, the less copacetic it is at home, and so then you end up like even grouchy. Resting is hard, because you have to like talk about shit sometimes.
Why are you grouchy? No, because
I'm not, that kind of deal.
The other thing that for me personally on my end is that everybody wants to have an event in September when it's Crush, and so I'm trying to organize events all the time and host them or be at one or send somebody, but that takes choreographing. And then also all my regular work, and then also these picking parties or these other things that trying to support you getting grapes, and what does that mean? Right. And I love combinations of flavors. I am a huge fan, but I don't like being the sole chef, even close. And I do feel like I try to cook more because you have these really long days and you're stressed and you're tired. And then I'm like, oh God, I have to come up with dinner again.
Right?
I'm super spoiled. He does all the cooking. So, during Crush, I'm like,
hasn't always been that way. We used to split it pretty even.
I help.
But I do appreciate when you do it during Crush. Right? We tag team a lot of stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. But, you're the lead. All right, next question. Who's your favorite chef you've ever worked with, and why? Ooh, so we're not going to actually answer that, because we have had an amazing
I'll tell you the qualities I like in chefs.
Yeah, let's do that, because we can't name a favorite, because we're so lucky to work with so many good talented chefs.
And we've also worked with some that don't come up to the standard here and there. The things I love about a chef, obviously, number one, food tasting good, and we seek those guys out. And I really think like the vast majority of our chefs really do great as far as like just amazing combinations and this and that. I'll let you answer the one part when I'm done about about working with them and on your end or whatever, but I like when you feel secure in the fact that they're gonna come on the day and time they say. That to me is the second most important thing. If they are fly by nighty or not stable enough, oddly, chefing must be rough, because there's a lot of unstable personalities. You know what I mean? They're just they're kind of like winemakers, like but I think with worse hours or something. So they're like end up drinking too much on the job, not on our jobs, but like just in their lives. It's tough. It's a tough occupation. They're making magic.
I don't doubt that it's a tough occupation. We're starting to with the Bear, if you've seen that show.
Right.
For sure, there's so much stress, and we've always heard about that. And definitely, if you're trying to manage a restaurant and then also do these private events on the weekend, and that's for sure hard. But I have to say that some of the most talented chefs that we've worked with have also pulled, just a few days before the event, I can't make it, and I can't hire somebody that can't make it just a few days before. I don't care what the problem is.
Right.
I mean, obviously there are certain things that I would understand.
Right.
But
my mom died. I understand that. Or,
whatever, no. But first time, this is terrible. We'll jump through hoops. Of course, I understand. But if it happens a second time, then I can't work with you.
Right.
And that's really, really frustrating. And I think it's I think sometimes our picking parties aren't taken very seriously because they think, it's just an in-home thing. Like they can probably get enchiladas from, Mama Padburger or something. And the thing is that a big component
we're selling
of this
these
experience
things as a
gourmet
4-course, 5-course wine dinner, wine lunch, but a wine dinner.
So that it's really something special and you really want to participate in it. So that sucks. Mm-hmm. So that's challenging.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about certain chefs is that they say, what wines do you want to pour, and how much of a input they ask from me is always really, really nice. Mm-hmm. What are some of the flavors that would assist these wines? I love that. I love when they also are thinking of the wine first.
That's what I was thinking of, is the question.
Yeah, and that's spectacular, because otherwise also being open to my edits. And that's really hard because I don't want to offend a chef. This is their creative, amazing art.
And you don't know how to make their meal better or whatever, but you do know how to make it pair better with any number of wines or whatever. So like that's really what you're trying to do is work with a chef. But a lot of chefs don't want to be edited whatsoever. They don't want to change their dream, but a lot of times that's what is going to make both the meal and the wine look better. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's what we're looking for, So if you want to have a super vinegary dish, the answer is let's try not to do that, because vinegar tastes like spoiled wine, especially when you're drinking it with wine or whatever. So it's like that's the really hard part, is if a chef is unwilling to doesn't know about wine or isn't willing to learn how to pair their fruits with wine.
For sure.
But when they do, it's magic.
Yeah.
And it's magic, basically every dish, basically every time.
And I think most
really
chefs
cool.
really want it to be a magical moment,
but
there are some that are like,
no,
the magic is what I've created, and you just try to pair with it.
Right,
and the
you're
thing
lucky
is
to
that
have
we
me.
don't make, like sometimes it'd be like, well, the only thing that I can pair with this that would be really truly magical is a sparkling wine, and we don't make one. So
or a sake, or
being that this whole thing is supposed to be.
We've only got 20
wines.
22 wines, and that's already too many. So like,
we
don't have like the entire world of wine to like find some obscure something from somewhere else to like pair with this.
Yes,
because we're showcasing ourselves. You're pairing with one winery. So anyway, that's our take on chefs.
But we've been really, really lucky.
We
have loved so many chefs over the years. It's been incredible.
Right.
All right. So next and final is, what's your favorite drinking song?
Well, I mean, obviously it's gonna be some kind of sea shanty for my drinking pleasure. It's always gonna be a sea shanty, and that's usually going to be on your 5th or 8th pint of Guinness, or some kind of whiskey, or just drinking a lot, sea shanty.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, like, is this the song that you like to get drunk to, or I
No,
also think
once
like sometimes there's like drinking songs,
that's a
right?
drinking song. Yeah, that's a drinking song.
Okay, and so
So that's when you're already there.
and
And
then
you're going, yeah, yeah, and you're just like, with the whole bar, you guys are screaming at the top of your lungs in like D flat or whatever it is, and and having a great time doing it. You know,
Nice.
that's my favorite drinking song, whatever the sea shanty song is.
yeah,
At that point. But all right, what do you got?
Oh, I don't know. I love Girls Just Want to Have Fun. You know, Cyndi Lauper. I can't help but love the 80s music. So that is always super fun when I'm drinking. I'm like, yeah, the 80s! But that could be all kinds of things. And then an actual song about drinking.
Oh.
What is that song? What's it actually called? I like pina coladas. Don't actually listen to me sing. I'm so sorry. You guys are like, I need a drink. Escape? Escape?
It's not called Escape. Enough from the peanut gallery. Let us concentrate on talking here. Production assistant, stop! Shut up! All right. Here's a little song about an M&H. I don't know.
I do love that song. I really love that song. It's one of my.
Do you though? I mean,
I
Buffett.
love that song. No,
Jimmy,
that's not Buffett.
That's not Jimmy Buffett?
No, Margaritaville is Jimmy Buffett.
I thought they all were. I don't know. Okay.
You know, oddly, it's not a drinking song, but one of my favorite songs to drink to is Santana. It's a Santana Lowrider. Lowrider.
That feels like drinking to you.
It does.
That's awesome. That's awesome. There's also Watermelon Wine by one of those 90s and 80s and 90s country guys. That's a pretty good one.
That was a girl.
No. No. Well, there was a female edition. Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's sweet. That makes me think of you in high school because you were buying me like Boone's Farm. And
bad booze, bad country,
but it was
stuff
kind
like
of cute,
that.
flirty, There's
a couple.
Right. I don't know. Let us know what your favorite songs are, and we'll start listening to them while we drink. Thank you guys so much. Let's wrap this up.
All right.
Next week, we will do the showdown, vodka versus gin. So what are your favorite gins? What are your favorite vodkas? What do you suggest that we taste, and why? Write it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun and probably messy.
Yeah, we're going to buy a few, and we'll start before, we'll start early. Tasting and figuring out.
Ha. All right, guys, cheers, and we'll see you next week.
Right on, y'all.